What's going on, guys? Trey back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be talking about a topic that's been suggested to me probably over 20 times now or something like that. One of the most requested topics for a video, and that is Rick Grimes' evolution as a character throughout the TV show. And I will also do at the end here real quick maybe the comic book as well, since it won't take too long to talk about about the topic. So thank you everyone for your suggestions. I think this is an interesting video, and look forward to possibly me doing one talking about Shane's character as well. So Rick's character throughout the series. So let's start at the beginning, way back at the beginning, episode 1, season 1. Days Gone By? Yeah, that's the name of the episode, Days Gone By. So right off the beginning of the episode, we pretty much get the feeling that Shane and Rick are pretty much best friends. Well, not just partners, but they're also talking about their personal lives. Rick's talking about Lori, and Shane's talking about some girls that he's or women that he's went with. And then, of course, we get to see them, get called to duty, and they have to go, and Rick ends up getting shot, ends up in the hospital. So right off the bat, pretty much, we get the feeling that that Rick is like your atypical good guy. He is fairly kind, but he's not weak. It's kind of a good moment in the second season when he sort of tells Shane that, it wasn't kindness or it wasn't weakness that kept me from attacking you. Basically, it was it took everything, all of his strength, to not want to just kill Shane because of what he did. So right off the bat, pretty much we get the feeling that he's like your atypical good guy character. And as the first couple episodes of the first season progress, we see him waking up in the hospital, stumbling out of there. Meeting up with Morgan, and killing a couple walkers. I think he kills the one with the baseball bat in the first episode. He puts down Bicycle Girl by shooting her, and again, that's that kind of like merciful, good guy side of him. Should he have wasted the ammunition in the first episode? No, probably not. He did it just because he felt like it was the right thing to do. So obviously his morals, his ethics are very important to him. Again, like I said, the atypical good guy, wants to help people, this kind of stuff, wants a mission. So the first mission he sets off in is to find Carl and Lori, and he ends up doing that. We get to see him with the cool scene where they get stuck in the building inside Atlanta with Merle on the roof and everything. And right off the bat, pretty much he's not messing around. He is a really nice guy, but even right off the beginning, he's not weak, and he is kind of a badass. I mean, he handcuffs Merle to the thing like right off the bat. It didn't take long at all. So in terms of that, he was always kind of a badass. It wasn't like he did get shot and walk away from it. I'm sure he doesn't want to experience that again. So, he's not going to be, kind around people who have guns and this kind of stuff. So in terms of him shooting Dave and Tony in the bar in the second season, I don't know if that's really so much of a character change, like as if the character's developed and changed that way, because it kind of seems like to me, if you got shot and you know what it feels like, I don't, I never have, but if somebody did, I guarantee afterwards they probably would be very like cautious around people with guns, because obviously they wouldn't want to get shot again. So, right off the bat, he sees people with guns, and he gets a sense that he's in danger. So, but anyway, we'll get back to that issue later on with Dave and Tony in the bar where he shoots him in Trigger Finger, which is probably his coolest moment of the series, or one of them. So right off the bat, we get a sense that he's your atypical good guy. He finds his family, touching scene there in the third episode of the first season. And then we get to know him a little bit more. He starts to, kind of go at it with Shane, and sort of just, it wasn't officially announced, but he just kind of took over the role of leader of the group, and, decided that they were going to go to the CDC. We get to see the cool part of the CDC with them being safe for a little while. And, this was kind of the start of Rick. I don't know if that was necessarily a good decision for him to do that, but he's sort of like a man on a mission. He needs a mission. He needs something to do most of the time. He can't just sit there and just keep shop. He's got to be out doing something all the time, it seems like to me anyway. So that was pretty much the end of the first season. We get to see that. Not a whole lot in terms of character development after that. And then in the second season, we start to get to see some pretty cool character development from him. First half of the second season, he actually doesn't have too many parts. It's pretty evenly spread We get the part with him and Sophia, and you know, him losing her, and obviously that's going to, you know, affect him mentally and have him questioning himself. You know, because it's kind of his, like, it was his responsibility at that time to protect her, and he failed at that. He wasn't able to do that. So obviously that's going to wear on his mind, and you know, make him maybe second guess himself. This kind of stuff. And there's even a line in the first episode of the second season where Shane says to him that, you know, they got you second guessing yourself now. So in a way, Shane was kind of supportive there most of the time with him, even though he was, you know, close to shooting him a couple times, or at least, you know, I think that was that season one. Yeah, that was season one, episode 4, I think, something like that, where he almost shoots him, but then he doesn't because Dale catches him. That was pretty cool. I like that whole sequence there. So not a lot in the way of character development early in the second season. There's the religious part, and then of course, you know, where he does the whole asking for help type thing. Then Carl gets shot, and then he meets Herschel, and he creates a good bond with Herschel, and that's again because Herschel just kind of sees him and knows that you're a typical good guy, leader type guy, and you know, allows him to stay and is able to talk him into letting him stay there with the group and everything. Again, Shane almost screws that up and pretty much dead already with everything that goes down there. And then we get to see probably, you know, some really cool, probably the best moment of all The Walking Dead, where in the bar, well, at least in my opinion, in terms of, you know, a Rick scene, because you kind of knew at that last episode that he was going to kill Shane. That was a good one too. But Triggerfinger was cool because it's just like all of a sudden they just, you know, these two guys just walk in, you know, and you kind of question like, what are they going to do? Like Glenn's just standing there; he's not going to do anything. So, you know, it's just a really cool scene where the guy goes to grab his gun, and right off the bat, Rick is just ready and just boom, shoots the one in the head, turns around, and shoots the other guy twice. That was just absolutely dope. That was one of the coolest scenes in all The Walking Dead. Probably Rick's best moment, I'd say, right off the bat there. And then you get to see the scenes with Lori. She kind of puts a bug in Rick's ear, which is not one of my favorite scenes in The Walking Dead. It just felt a little cheesy. And you know, and then he starts fighting with Shane. He tries to work it out though with him, but he lets him know that he's in charge and that this is his family and that, you know, that type of thing. And eventually it doesn't work out, and as you guys got to see, he ends up killing Shane in the second last episode of the season, and then in the season finale, him and Carl go back. They get the group, and you know, some people die, but a lot of the group survives. And basically, you get to see after Shane kills Rick that he's just, you know, he's gotten to a point where he seems like he's tired of it. You know, he's tired of everything. You know, he's pissed off because, in a way, Shane was kind of that last tie to him being like that good guy, that police officer guy. And now that was forced to pretty much kill him, and he's murdered, you know, several people now. I would look for him to be a lot more badass, a lot more just, you know, careful at the same time around others he doesn't know, and ruthless too. You know, if he meets other people that he doesn't know, I can assume that he probably won't just invitingly let them in type thing. So, you know, that good guy side of him starting to kind of fade out with the world. He wants to do the right thing, but now he realizes that, you know, priority over that might, doing the right thing might be number 2, but number 1 is keeping his family safe and survival above all the others, not taking any risks, especially around, you know, others with guns and stuff like that, and people he doesn't know. So yeah, and then the argument at the end of the last episode where he basically tells everybody that he killed his best friend for them, and you know, he's just kind of like got a tyrannical nature about him when he says that and stuff. And you know, you can just, you know, chalk that up to, you know, everyone's asking questions. But, I mean, in that type of environment, you know, which way do you go? Like, what do you do? Like, you have a leader who tries to keep you alive. He keeps some of the group alive, but some don't make it. You know, and it's just like, and he gets all the flack for it. So, you know, you can see that happening. I'd expect in season 3 going forward for him to, now that Shane's dead and that he had to do it, I don't see him having any problems killing others, maybe even any remorse anymore. And that's probably going to go forward and get even worse as time goes on. We'll see if there are people actually inside the prison when they end up going there. There may be inmates there who are able to survive, you know, in a section locked off or something. cafeteria, something like that, similar to what we saw in the comic books. And I just look for to see Rick do even more, things that are like, to protect everybody, to do just what it takes, and also to be careful with the group too, so as to not allow for any kind of mutiny or anything like that. Which I don't think he has to worry about anymore now that Shane is gone. I don't think anybody else in the group would really mutiny against him. At least none of the members that are in there now. Carol is powerless, even if she doesn't like Rick, which she clearly doesn't at this moment. She can't do anything about it. Like, what is she gonna do? He's the leader. He's the one in charge. She can't do anything. She's powerless. So, yeah, I think going forward in season 3, we'll see even more of that. And then I think that we'll see, in season 4, maybe season around end of season 4, probably season 5, the biggest change in Rick's character. Possibly if he loses some loved ones, or more members of the group die, this kind of stuff. Maybe questioning himself, eventually getting to the point where maybe he doesn't want to be in charge anymore, at all, because I mean it's just so hard in that type of world to keep people alive. There's just danger everywhere. So very excited to see where he goes from here. I think that now that Shane's dead, it's going to take his character in a new direction where he just doesn't give a shit, and isn't the atypical good guy anymore necessarily. He's become something different entirely. I guess you could call him a good guy in that world, but compared to who he was, just a shell of a former self in terms of his humanity. And I don't think we're going to be seeing, if he captures somebody like Randall again later, I don't think we're going to see him hesitate to put him down at all. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Stay tuned for probably a tribute to Shane, talking about Shane's character. Maybe some others, if I have enough to say. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Experimentation. Yeah, this is kind of experimental video. Let me know if you liked it or not. Later, guys. Peace.